morning, everyone. Thanks for joining in. My name is Jussi Astrup. I come from Siemens, Denmark. I work here in Ballerup in Denmark. Siemens is a corporation in Denmark with 6,800 people. Mostly work with wind power in Jutland. I'm not here to talk about appliances. That's a different division. I work business to business. So a few years ago, we were losing visitors at our website. We didn't know what was happening. Well, actually, we thought that social media was coming in and people were more interested in joining the social media channels. So we tried to set up a Facebook page, but the board of directors were not really keen to go that way. They were more interested in holding back. We didn't know what it was, how we should react, if there was a shitstorm, what to do. But we were looking at the stats, and we did a business case looking at the job and career pages, and we saw that this was actually a place where we were losing a lot of visitors and thereby also a lot of applicants. So we focused on that business case. We focused on setting a new case that focused on job applicants. So we said, well, if people are moving away from our website, they're going to another social media website, why not try to get them back and talk to them where they are? So we did. We tried to set up a Facebook channel because at that time Facebook was where everyone was in Denmark. I think 85% of all social media channels, of all social media visitors went to Facebook in Denmark at that time. So the goal was to get more qualified applicants for our jobs in Siemens. And every month we have about 100 new jobs in the wind power industry and in Siemens AS, which is where I come from. We started by calling us Siemens Denmark Jobs and Careers. But we found out that this was a very short and minimal group to attend. And we had so many great stories out there that we wanted to talk about as well. So we had to change the name, and luckily we were able to do that. We changed it to Siemens Denmark. But working with the Facebook page, we found out that this was a great way of branding our company and our stories. We have a lot of stories and we have a lot of images, and social media is really a great place for that because people can engage. And it's very easy to find out what works and what doesn't work because you get an instant reply. So first focus on jobs, and then as we learned during the months, we started to focus on general Siemens communication. The first target group that we set was young people, engineers, students. We wanted to get them focused on our jobs. We wanted to get more engineers to be interested in Siemens. We hire a lot of engineers every year, and we're very interested in getting them young and obviously get the best. But as you can see, between 13 and 24, we almost don't have anyone. The gray area is what is Facebook's data of everyone there, and the dark blue is the men and the light blue is the women on our page. So you can see we we have a lot of visitors, a lot of page likes from people in the age group of 25 to 54, which is interesting because our focus was 24 to 34. So it's a bigger, and also we found out that actually a lot of our stories in the beginning were focused on the engineers. That means men. Not so many stories for women. So they didn't really respond to the stories. They didn't really engage. So we found out what to do about that and did something about that. Now, one of my key learnings is it's very important to have a single main communication topic that you focus on in all your messages, in all your posts. Obviously, sometimes it won't make sense to use that focus area, that main communication topic, but you always have to think about this main communication topic. And ours is that Siemens uses green technology to make a difference in Denmark. And why in Denmark? Because we're a Danish company. And you say, no, you're a German company. No, we're a Danish company. That's what we tell. Because wind power is in Denmark. It's from Denmark, it's built in Denmark, and we have the R&D center in Denmark. And we build things here. So we have German owners, but we focus on being Danish. So that's very important for us. Also that we create jobs. It's very important for us. And that we export. It's very important. So, and obviously green technology. And green technology is really, it's such a great thing to work with because everyone can understand it and everyone knows why that's important. So, first lesson we learned was very important to have a main communication topic. We launched the site back in 2012, and now we have 6,700 something. And this is what it looks like today, or yesterday. The image in the top is a photo taken by a service technician with Siemens. We've learned from Maersk Drilling that telling stories about the drilling industry from the drilling guys out there, the tough guys, telling their stories, that really gets people engaged. And we've learned, we've taken that idea to our wind power world. And we have images from these service technicians when they're out there on the sea. This is actually from an iPhone. I think it's been through Instagram. It looks pretty crazy, the colors. Someone commented, it looks like the dome, you know, that Sirius dome. Okay. So we had the data from the followers, from the people who liked our page, and we wanted to create some more interesting personas, because working with personas is like working with someone you know. So you write to people that you know. Does everyone know what a persona is? So you write to people that you know. They have a name, a face, an age. They do something. They're interested in something, and you can test your posts in your head or discuss them with a colleague if they really work for this person. And how did we find our personas? We looked at some of the data for the top influencers, for the most active fans, and we found out that the ones that were most active, by clicking on this is a Comfo platform slide, and in their statistics system you can get this. So you can click on each of these people and go to their Facebook page, and you can view them and see who they are and what they're interested in, and if they have a dog or something like that. And we did that, and by using this data, we created 4 personas. I'm going to show you 3 of them today. The first one is Kim, who is an engineer, and this guy, he's very interested in data and technology and green technology, and you can see which posts he's really interested in here. Sustainability, wind power, and big and cool machines is another learning from Maersk. This is something that they focus on. Big and cool machines really work out there. People engage on that. Stories like world record or we're the best or something like that. Obviously, we're never saying that Siemens is the best, but sorry. Oh, I think I just lost my battery. No charger. I don't think these work. Anyway, who needs slides? So the first guy is Kim. He's an engineer, and we write stories about wind power, about sustainability for this guy, and we feel like we know him, and we talk to him, and he engages. And some of the stories that he really enjoys are stories like we just signed a contract with a ferry company that changes their their motor from a big diesel motor to a battery. So it's a battery-driven ferry, and there's a lot of data in this image. And he says, "Oh, that's really interesting. How come you use this kind of battery?" And then we get some expert to reply, and that's really nice to get that kind of engagement. And then we have another person who's a woman who's 34. She's a secretary, and she's really into the emotional stories. So we had this image of a X-ray that had a visual identity on it, like a giraffe, and we use this to sell the X-ray at a children's facility in Odense, a children's hospital. So we wrote something like, something really hard for the child can become more easy by using this X-ray that looks like a giraffe. And we didn't feed it to the lions afterwards, so that's okay. Who else? Then we have the student. He's very much interested in local stories, and he's obviously interested in job postings. So every month we have one job posting saying we have more than 100 jobs at the moment. We have, for example, this, that, and that. Are you interested? And then a link. And that always gets more than 400 shares. And shares, work very well to get across. Another key learning is that less is more is always good. You know how people they often look at their mobile and they look through their feeds, and if your text is too long, it will be clipped over, and you can click on more. And once you've done that, less will read it. So less is definitely more. I'm trying to remember all the slides here. Maybe we should get some questions instead, and I'll remember some of my my slides during the questions. Yeah, that could be a good idea. I'm going to make it up to you if you stay. Because this is all about best practice. We're not trying to sell anything.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Why use Facebook to recruit people who are not interested in it?
Siemens has a policy of one LinkedIn page. So we have a global page for LinkedIn. And that was a no-go for the Danish region. Looking from a Danish perspective, that is really annoying because there's a lot of opportunities out there using LinkedIn. I know my manager, he was addressed by this engineer at one point, and he forwarded on LinkedIn, and he forwarded that to the energy division, to the manager there. And he said, great profile, let's have him in for a talk, and he ended up getting the job. So yeah, that definitely works.
Because engineers know engineers, and so forth. And you socialize on Facebook.
I guess.
This could also be the meaning why we don't get that young target group. They socialize.
Yeah, but they've moved on because what I hear is that they don't want to be friends with their parents. And so they've moved on to Instagram and yeah. Thank you. Okay, so that was Kim, and this was the post I was talking about, the big and cool machine. And we use headlines on the images sometimes because there's more room there than in the text area, and less is more. And then you have like a headline and you have the text, and that works well. And obviously in the feed, in people's feed, you want to get an attention grabber. You want to really, you go in their private area, and you're Siemens, you're not a friend, so you really need to give them something extra to get their attention. And I think images with a headline really works. I think Facebook has some kind of rule that if you plaster more than 20% of your image with text, then they can remove it. But I guess this was just below. This is a story about sustainability. This is not even a Siemens solution. This is not an innovation by us, but I found this online at some point, and I thought, this is a really cool idea. It probably doesn't work, but look at the image. If it did, how cool is that? It would probably only work in Arizona or something, Dubai, but I don't know. But people engage to it. They think, yeah, that's a cool idea. And that's what we want to address, innovative, ingenuitive ideas, which are green. Then we have another guy. He works with Siemens. He's very loyal. People who work with your company, the best ambassadors for the Facebook page or your social media page. I'm thinking that he's probably out on sea sometimes, working, roping up and down the wind turbines on sea, looking down 80 meter, something like that. I'm thinking he has a dog and a family and 2 children, and he walks his dog every time he comes home. And if you look at his what's it called, a bracelet? What's it called, the hand thing? Maybe he's I don't think he wears a suit. I think he's a blue collar guy. And we have a lot of those out there who are really interested in joining our wind power projects. And he's really proud, and he shares the stories out there. And he comments and he says, if I was there last week, or we have a location like that in Finland or wherever. So he's very engaging. And this is probably my favorite post of all our posts at all time. And this is something really engaging for that person. Because these are people who are the first in the world to get a wind power education. And it's a joint project between Siemens and Vestas, who are competitors. So that's a good story as well. And then we congratulate them, and most people will congratulate someone. So that's really a great story. And we've hashtagged Siemens Vestas to focus on that. Hashtags don't work on Facebook. But sometimes what they can do is set the agenda for the post. No one really clicks on them. And I think they're only visible for a few days at a time. This is the caring one I was talking about, the office secretary. And she believes in the good of people, and society is a great place, and we should all join hands, and we have to make a better world. So stories about that, emotional stories, are really something that gets Gitte going. And this is the post I was talking about. The X-ray, and a difficult situation becomes easier because it looks like a nice giraffe. All the women are smiling. Every month we want to write stories about our 6 main communication topics. And if we get to the 20th of a month and we haven't written anything about local news yet, well, we need to create a story for that. And every month we, besides doing a story on every communication category, we also need to do a story for every persona, specific for that persona. And this is September's matrix of the stories. Because that way we get all the way around our target group. We write for everyone. Someone told me at some point, well, you know, there's a lot of people out there who never engage but read. And we have to write stories for them too. So that's why we have 4 personas and not just 1. Also, we sell solutions within both energy, industry, healthcare, and infrastructure and cities. So it's very wide. We can't really just focus on one persona. But I think 4 is probably the max. Okay. Then we do dialogue or quiz related posts. These are often they are always in the weekend. The other stories you saw were posted at 6 o'clock in the morning, because I think that most people, when they wake up in the morning, the first thing they do is they check their Facebook feed. It used to be check their email, but now it's check their Facebook feed. Maybe someone checks other social media sites, but this is usually in the weekend. And this is for the, it's sort of to communicate that we are an engineering company, and math and engineering is important. And we had over 100 replies on this one, which I think is a lot. And engagement is very important for people to remember Siemens, and if they engage with us, or even better, engage with each other on our Facebook page, on one of our posts, then I think we've really won a lot. What else have we learned? We've learned that humor is really appreciated. They love these odd, fun stories and fun facts. And we can write using humor language. However, we can never go outside our language tone, if you understand. We can't just all of a sudden change our style into writing like a 13-year-old or something. We would lose our credibility. What else? Live coverage stories really work well. This is a story about a new building being built in Brande, Jutland, where Siemens Wind Power has a headquarter, and it's the mayor of IKAS Brande to the left. And then you can do the text before, and if there's a guy from your work at the place at the time, he can take an iPhone image and send it to someone at the office and work a little bit with it, put in some text, who it is, on the left you see, on the right you see, on the image, and then upload it. And it's live coverage. And that works. Also, personal stories work. We have this graduate program where you can join Siemens for 2 years and you get a leadership education. But who cares about that? People want to know about Maria, who joined Siemens and wanted to become a leader and joined our graduate program, and she was overseas for 8 months during this program. And then selling the story through Maria about the graduate program. And obviously people who know Maria comments on this story. Way to go, Maria, stuff like that. And this is obviously a link, it's not an image, it's a link to the website about the graduate program. And another thing we've learned is that you have to focus on attention grabbing, and curiosity really works. Everyone in marketing will tell you that. But this is actually an image that is double the size in reality, and we've cut it in half and asked the question, what do you think it is? Fun part is that there's actually a link to the story about what it is in the post, but if you look at your stats, you'll see most people click on an image to see if it gets bigger once they clicked on it, but almost no one will click on the link. Only maybe 15% of the ones that click on the image. So curiosity really works. And what is it? Someone said, well, is it a wind turbine who's lying down? So they discuss what is it, and someone obviously knows. And this is a I think it's a stream turbine, so it's put beneath water and uses the current to create energy. Okay, so the key points of today. The thing I think you should take with you when you go back to the office tomorrow is create your main communication topic, create your communication categories, and create your personas. That's what we've learned. Any questions? Yeah.
So you created the personas from looking at who interacted with your Facebook, not looking at who you want to engage.
Well, we had an idea, and we looked at who interacted and who was the top influencer. And once we found these people, we were talking about, well, we need to address the women as well. Why can't we address them? What do they like to hear? And that's when we came up with the idea of emotional posts. And once we did that, then they were a part of the top influencers as well.
More of a mix, how to get the young people involved. You can see that your posts were going more in another direction.
Exactly. We had one idea, young people, and we found out that they weren't there. Anyone else? Yeah.
How do you organize interaction? Because you mentioned that when you get a question about something technical, you get some permission to reply. How do you structure that?
Well, you have to have some key speakers, but in reality it's really hard, isn't it? Yeah. They're working on some project, and this is not part of their yearly target, so it is hard. So obviously we have the communication, and we can look within that, and then we can try to ask. I'm so lucky that my manager is an engineer, and he knows a lot of these answers just by heart. But I also know some people in the organization that I can contact. But obviously it's like everything, isn't it? That some people will reply, some people won't. So you have to find the ones that do. Isn't it? Yeah. Anything else?
Do you interact with everything on your Facebook? Because we experience that sometimes the communication kind of goes in its own way, and that we shouldn't.
We don't. In the beginning we were really bad doing anything. There was a young student who did a thesis from Aalborg University about the Siemens Denmark Facebook page, and she addressed this. You should interact more on your posts. We had this image of this guy from Orange County Choppers. Do you know him? He has this beard, and he's on a big chopper like that, and it's a sustainable chopper. It's an electrical chopper that has a Siemens engine, and he built it, or his team did. And then he's riding it, and we have that image, and we wrote something like, "It's a chopper, baby," humor, and something else about the data. And then we posted it, and we did an ad campaign about that post, and we got a lot of comments back because we were really targeting everyone. So we got a lot of answers back like, "That's not a chopper. No, go to hell," and stuff like that. Interesting. But we didn't address all that. And we haven't really had a shitstorm yet. So. But the most questions we get are job related. And we have someone from HR who helps us out. All right, I think we, okay, last question.
Do you have some sort of like reward system for the active participants on Facebook?
The what?
Like reward systems? Or,
For the users?
yeah.
For the page likes? Well, we did some competitions. We've done some competitions. Last note, you can't get any likes just by posting. You have to do an ad program. Otherwise, you will get 10 likes every week and you'll never reach 10,000 or whatever is your goal. You need to do an ad campaign, and it needs to be the kind of campaigns that come in within the people's stream, that your friend likes this page and then like this page and there's a button, something like that. You have to. Otherwise you will get no likes. You will have 200 for the rest of your life. Pay to reach has come to Facebook.
Have you ever considered buying some likes? Like
Yeah.
Like there's some agencies like who promote that you can actually buy likes from.
Yeah, but we haven't bought false likes, only real likes. Okay, I think I need to wrap up. The time is spent. Thank you.